This is Sybert signing into Red Alert 3, and welcome to Carville and Game 1 of this Carville showcase. Let's kick it off in the top right-hand corner as the Red Soviets. This is ForFan28. Looks like he's opening up Crane first, and as the Purple Soviets, his teammate, this is Dimonlove. Someone is such a fan of Dimon that they literally made him their name. The MCV is running for the water, and as the Cyan Empire leaving a power plant on the high ground, this is WarServer. His teammate as the orange allies, this is Kulhyno. Some of these names, man. All right, rounding it out as the Green Empire, this is Drinksoap, and his ally, the sixth player, as the very aggressive yellow allies on the island. This is Abu Amsha. We're going to try and figure out if this game is good enough. If you're watching this on YouTube, it means that myself and the stream, we decided this game was good enough. If you're watching this on the stream, well, get your judging gavel ready, because we are going to be saying, is this a boring game? Is this a fun game? Is this a game worth preserving for a couple of weeks on YouTube? If not, it will be relegated to the deletion in the Twitch VOD archive. Those things don't stick around for very long anymore. So are these Carville games interesting enough? Double sickle jump coming in. Dimonlove is playing Soviets, but he's playing purple. Unfortunately, it looks like the allied player got the yellow. So if you're really Dimonlove, I don't know, do you have to play yellow and Soviets? That is the classic Dimon combination. WarServer deploys the walls on the high ground before exiting to the low ground. He did also leave a power plant up there, which is a bit unfortunate because it means you just have to rebuild that power plant elsewhere. And WarServer does actually split his refineries, one on land, one on the sea. Abu Amsha clearing out the middle of the map, but ForFan28, this guy is just moving in. I can't remember the last time that a top player crossed the bridge and just is aggressively expanding onto the island. This is something that I don't recall ever seeing. And Abu Amsha is, he's got the drop on this. He's feeling it. Two Vindicators. Oh, he lets the Engineer spawn in. That's a mistake. That Engineer should be good as dead. Is the bomb splitting good? It's good enough. I can only bomb split about 50% of the time. I just don't have the timing down quite to do it perfectly every single time. So that guy getting a good hit in. Dimonlove is going to be taking a little bit of pressure here from WarServer, who managed to sneak out a barracks somewhere. He dropped a barracks just on the right edge of the map, and Dimonlove is not ready for it at all. He's got his Harvester all in protection mode. It doesn't even look like he's trying to go for the crush. That seems like a bit of a mistake there. Either get out of there or go for the crush, but in that case, it was kind of the worst of both worlds. So Dimonlove might have to try and set up something in the middle, a Crusher Crane on the high ground. Second Engineer did manage to grab that barracks, and one refinery, one barracks, or one oil derrick, one refinery on the high ground in the middle. Is that going to be enough for ForFan to really keep up the pressure and keep things moving? Dimonlove is now in an awkward sandwich. He's got a Crusher Crane on the island, so he has an insurance policy, but WarServer is going to try and push him out, create a little sandwich. Kahuli on one side and WarServer on the other. Dimonlove caught in the middle of their slices of bread. Multi-gunner turret goes down. I feel like we haven't talked much about Drinksoap, a fantastic name, and an Empire player who is just getting away with everything. He went quick 4 refineries. He's got a quick tier 3 coming up. I assume he's going to be going, oh, is he going Eureka? He's already got the tier 3 on this dojo, and that is Rocket Angels. If this is mass Rocket Angel, if he is double barracks pumping Rocket Angels, that might just be enough to guarantee it a spot on YouTube. Chasing down this MCV, it looks like Dimonlove is going to try and exit to the north. WarServer has successfully kicked him in the teeth and knocked him out of his spawning location. Kulhyno is I love the random multi-gunner turret that he built, clearly, you know, supporting WarServer's efforts to destabilize Dimonlove. But now Dimonlove and ForFan28, because ForFan28 went to the middle island instead of just going to the top side. Oh, we have crates. All right, I didn't realize this was a crate game. All bets are off. It is not ultimate goofball mode because that's Red Alert 2 and some of the earlier game crates. But it is a little bit goofball mode with free money just lying around on the ground, as well as veterancy. Are we coming into a 2-horse race? Ooh, this is a double Tier 3 barracks, and he does not have the cash to go for it because he's also gone Tier 3 on the naval yard. Drinksoap is listening to his own name, and he is trying to tech up too many places too quickly. The guy is zeroed out on cash and is looking a little bit dangerous with how little he has. ForFan has completely abandoned the middle of the map. He's got a couple of things on the extremities of the island, but he has completely run away. If he doesn't grab this cash crate, he's not looking at his MCV, so he does not see it, unfortunately. But it looks like Dimon is going to get it. Oh, and it despawns moments before the bear finds it. It despawns. Vindicators are here, and it does feel like we are coming into a 2-horse race kind of position. WarServer and Kulhyno. Kulhyno, who really hasn't had much to do for most of this game. He's just sort of been expanding free and clear for most of this match. And Drinksoap, they are both the guys in the team who have just had very easy starts, very quick openings to do whatever they want. No harassment, no real problems. Meanwhile, WarServer going on the attack. Once again, this guy just will not stop slapping people in the face. He is turning every direction, and this is only a tank buster surprise, but it is a surprise indeed to the yellow allied player. Bridge goes down. ForFan says, I'm not taking any chances on that, but I hope you've got your bullfrogs ready, because if not, Drinksoap is coming for you with his Rocket Angels. And that is going to be a dead naval yard. That is going to be a dead refinery as well. And this girl has her whip ready to go, ready to lock down any units. And, oh, 2 bullfrogs. Easy enough to deal with. You get 2 neutralizing whips, whatever those are called, from the Rocket Angel. Easy peasy to deal with 2 or 3 bullfrogs. Now we'll see if he's actually able to paralyze these bullfrogs. That's now going to be 4 bullfrogs. You need to paralyze all of them. You can't leave 3 of them to be running around and happy. So unfortunately for Drinksoap, it's not going to be an easy cleanup of this Soviet player, and he's lost the element of surprise. Could clean up maybe that Stingray, maybe try and find some other places to do a bit of damage. And this is 3 refineries seems like just not enough cash to double pump Rocket Angels. And to try and go for a naval yard at the same time, you just need more refineries than that. Paralysis locks down that Stingray, and things have gone quiet on the Eastern Front as WarServer takes over Dimonlove's starting location and sets up a pretty typical, well, not typical, but gets himself to a normal place gameplay-wise. He's got a war factory, he's got a Tier 2 barracks, he's even got his nanotech mainframe ready to go, but he has not taken these water refineries back from the cruelty of Abba Amsha and ForFan. They both knocked down those refineries and have not allowed the refineries to come back up. There's going to be the shrink and the freeze maybe on this Akula sub, and the Riptide can still use its torpedoes to hunt down that Akula sub, so it is going to be maybe a kill on this Akula sub, but maybe not. It looks like no, the Riptide speed is just fast enough to keep up with that Akula sub. And what a catch! Finds an aircraft carrier right as it spawns. Dimonlove also going to be calling in those satellites, doing a bit of damage to that naval yard right as he also sees that aircraft carrier leaving port. All right, Rocket Angels, they have found a new target. They have found something new to shoot at. Cryo shot going to be firing off. It is going to catch this aircraft carrier, completely locks it down. The Riptide gets eliminated as well, but fires one last torpedo and sends that aircraft carrier to a watery grave. EMP fires off. It's going to hit the Tier 2 Mecha Bay. No, it's actually still a Tier 1 Mecha Bay, but completely shuts down WarServer's production. And WarServer again with his Tank Buster surprise. He's going to be getting caught out. The Rocket Angels will be giving him a bit of a surprise. And unfortunately for WarServer, those units, although they were free, are going to be caught and killed. Balloon bombs get called in as well. WarServer hoping to shut down this aircraft carrier problem before it gets much worse. He is going to be maybe losing this ore refinery, but this might be a problem that he needs some help to break. One aircraft carrier going down. How long until the next aircraft carrier emerges? Oh, it's just hydrofoils. Well, in that case, that's great. Actually, there's an aircraft carrier there. It's just all shrunken down. It is quite short, quite small. And unfortunately for Abu Amsha, he's, not quite as strong as he once was. If he had 2 or 3 aircraft carriers, it would be a bit of a different play. Yuriko is here. She does not get the MCV. It survives. The Athena cannons are too strong, and WarServer loses the transport as well. He tries to go for the backstab, taking down that MCV, but it just isn't going to happen. The engineer will be able to jump inside of that MCV, and, well, that's about as good as you can hope for, because if your MCV survives against a Yuriko, it kind of doesn't matter as long as it's got 1 bar of HP. That is certainly good enough for you. You're going to be so much happier to not lose your Tier 3 allied MCV. That's a lot of sudden transports. Drinksoap is trying to pull something off here. Attacks an engineer for just a moment, and suddenly we have forgotten once again about ForFan and Dimonlove, who have just pulled away. I don't think everybody's building Rocket Angels. I don't know that you need this many bullfrogs if you're not attacking the Rocket Angel player. In fact, you might need some of those bullfrogs back at home. We'll see. It's going to be Rocket Angels on one side of the river, and I assume a Yuriko, but this could just be mass infantry. It is! It's just mass infantry! So many tank busters, so many of Imperial warriors, and he's going to be targeting down the war factory. One last bullfrog emerges. Not a whole lot of crush left in this army, and you may be tearing WarServer down. WarServer has been beaten back completely, retreating from the front line, losing all of his production, but at the same time, ForFan and Dimonlove are going to be losing their expansion. Flak cannons going down. The bear will get annihilated, and even these lowly conscripts won't be able to stop all of this firepower. The super reactor will get blown up. Only 2 Imperial warriors die. Abu Amsha has gone for the Proton Collider there in the almost exact middle of the map, almost pixel perfect in the middle of this map. But it's Twin Blades. Where are your Rocket Angels now? They are trying to respond. They're coming in from a great distance, and this is where Empire Infantry really does fall flat. Apollo's now going to be showing up. Bullfrogs are here as well on the ground, and the Twin Blades are going to be able to escape, but the Bullfrogs are a little bit too nervous to get near these buildings. If they get near the buildings, the Rocket Angels might be left unopposed. Twin Blades, a huge move here by ForFan, who is just chipping away at the Empire army that almost just leveled his base. Abu Amsha has been defeated. That feels like a disconnect, like somebody lost connection from the game because they were not in a situation where they should have exited the game in a GG sense and also would have disconnected to avoid losing. Not in that sense either. So Abu Amsha, unfortunately, I think has some network connectivity problems and just leaves the match, leaving everything to Drinksoap, who is now an allied Empire player and has Apollos, Rocket Angels, and a Proton Collider under their control. And the entire Empire attack has fallen flat. Athena Cannon Heroic from the high ground now has Kulhyno to deal with, as Kulhyno has retaken the water with the help of WarServer after being beaten nearly to a pulp. WarServer coming back with Kulhyno to try and stabilize this game, and unfortunately, Abu Amsha and Drinksoap, who previously were fighting two sides with two different people, they're now fighting on two sides with one person. Drinksoap is suddenly thrust into a multitasking nightmare where he has attacks and armies in opposite corners of the map. He has threats and dangers to face from every direction, and it's just him by himself against this Cryoblast EMP firing off, locking down his assault destroyers. He's trying to keep up the attacks, he's trying to keep up the aggression, but he's pissed off too many people. Drinksoap, he's gonna have to take a drink of his own medicine. Oh no, okay, he sells off the War Factory. He gets the Engineer kill as well, that's good. But Drinksoap is in an extremely tough position, a 1v2v2, and I think not through any mistake of his own. Is that really a harvester? Okay, it seems, yeah, more like a sudden transport than a harvester. And indeed it is. Trying to escape, trying to not be frozen to death. No hydrofoils to keep it safe, but the cryocopter does back off. Eventually, there should be some anti-air defenses. And no, this is actually WarServer's Eureka! The shrink was not a defensive shrink, it was an offensive shrink. As this Eureka pops on out, she's going to go for the Proton Collider. The cryocopter is here for support, and look at the juggling! She's joining the circus as this Eureka is going ham in the middle of the map. Not even a dog will stop her, and the Peacekeeper's falling down to the ground. Where's the Psychokinetic Burst? It's not enough! The lag gets her! Oh, the lag. What a day to have a little bit of latency in your connection. From our perspective, the burst happened well before the dog attack, but Red Alert 3 says no. No. Those things happened at the same time. Maybe even the dog attacked first. And so we have lag deciding that Eureka, a fully heroic Eureka, dies instantly to that dog attack despite releasing a massive psychic burst. Drinksoap, a 1v2v2 player who is building just the dumbest things and having fun, gets slapped down and gets denied his Proton Collider by WarServer. The cruelty seems unmatched as WarServer and Kulhyno are just tearing Drinksoap apart. And I mean, what did you expect? Although these Twin Blades are going to catch 3 Riptides full of Javelin Soldiers, a huge amount of cash down the drain. I mean, if that was all full of Javelin Soldiers, I think that's 4,500 credits just in the Javelin Soldiers, plus 3 Riptides. So that is a decent amount of cash just disappearing. I think Kulhyno has more than enough refineries to make up for it, but he's going to wish he had that 5 grand back in a couple of moments. Drinksoap, you got to hand it to him. Placed in a 1v2, having to multitask, probably harder than he's ever multitasked before, gets dropped in the middle of the island, just a nuke dropped on him, basically. And he is still on the warpath. He is not sitting back. He is not taking it easy. He is out here fighting for his life and moving north with a kind of patchy army. I mean, his strikers are way on the front lines. We'll see if they're able to deal with these Twin Blades. Twin Blades are going to dive. Apollos would be amazing here. The King Onis in the infantry going to be keeping up the fight, and these strikers are blasting Twin Blades left, right, and center, but there are just too many twins, too many blades. The rockets and the guns come raining down as these King Onis are doomed to demise at the blades of the twins. And unfortunately for Drinksoap, his anti-air just... Oh, he had so many IFVs! That's a ton of IFVs and more strikers back at home, and he just didn't bring them along. These Twin Blades could have been annihilated by these IFVs. Way too many IFVs for these number of Twin Blades. And the Twin Blades get sent packing. Dimonlove has been defeated. It's a 1v1v2. Natasha is out on the map. And, well, actually, ForFan is actually kind of taking over the middle island. He's somewhat surprisingly, WarServer and Kulhyno, they were the ones who knocked Drinksoap out of the island, but they didn't actually take the island for themselves. They're just leaving the island, and ForFan is the one going to be taking the island over. MiGs are passing overhead. Twin Blades jumping on these aircraft carriers. And ForFan gets the kill. It is massive Twin Blade action once again as a Cryogeddon fires off. WarServer calls in the surprise once again. And WarServer does massive damage to Drinksoap. His allied MCV is gone, but his allied War Factory is not. His Empire MCV is also still here, and a massive army turns back around and is going to retreat from the front lines. WarServer's Tengu army gets annihilated. The MiGs win the day, and Yuriko clears out the top right-hand corner once again. The Cryocopter combination with Yuriko just lays waste to the top right-hand corner. And those Tengus, I guess those Tengus actually kind of secured the fact that the aircraft were all in the top left. And so he could just easily take down this entire chunk of base in the top right. If that was an intentional play by WarServer, that was a fantastic move to redirect and distract your entire enemy army from your real goal, which is Yuriko going heroic in the top right-hand corner of the map, and distract them with measly Tengus in the top left. Yuriko gets shrunken down once again, and still unwilling to just call it quits, Drinksoap goes on the attack path again. He doesn't have much, but he's got a little bit. He calls in a Tank Buster Surprise. He flies over with some strikers as well. He's forced to transform them onto the ground, and Yuriko is going to back off. I'm not actually sure why. She could have jumped on top of those buildings. Well, okay. They're going to try the Tank Buster Surprise at the same time. Yuriko is going to deal with the stuff out in the water, and the Tank Busters are going to be going for these more important buildings, and they're going to jump inside of the Civ structures, giving them a little bit of extra protection against these Twin Blades who stop to kill off Yuriko just before she gets just after she gets the kill on that refinery. The super reactor will stand. The Nano Swarm Hive is now online. WarServer's first low-level super weapon is online. And no, it is not an unholy alliance, or at least it is not one that doesn't have its limits, because these IFVs are getting jumped on. Terror drones coming in from ForFan to thin out this allied army, and this is just... He just deleted the entire army. That was like an entire army for free. The IFVs largely got jumped on by the terror drones, and there was nothing really there to deal with the terror drones, so the Twin Blades able to swing through and clean everything else up. It's a very fast Harvester running across the land. It is back up to full health. It has been fully healed. Super Reactor gets sold off immediately. He knows what's coming. One Twin Blade spawns in, but that Twin Blade gets taken down, and if you can't deal with the rest of these Twin Blades, is he going to try and escape in the sudden transport? He gets all 3. He gets 2 of the... That doesn't seem like a very good plan. Was that a good plan? I don't know that that was a very good plan. He didn't kill the Crusher Crane, so he has denied the build radius, I guess. But that didn't seem like a very good plan. Terror Drone's now going to be coming in. They're going to be able to get the infects. 1 does get popped, a 2nd gets popped, and a 3rd finally does get the infect. Nicely done there as Drinksoap cleans up the Terror Drones and gets the kill on those units. He needs to get out of the toxins, and one of these Terror Drones does get the infect, but will it die? And it did. The toxins killed off the IFV. Unfortunately for ForFan, he does not get a double kill there. Terror Drone almost killing something and then getting the final kill and being able to reinfect. He just loses there. Back at home. Not enough is back at home. And I mean, he wasn't able to find the Twin Blade kills on the other side of the map, so ForFan decides to cross map, to split up the attacks, and instead of defending, just go for the kill. Okay, he kills off the MCV. I thought he was going to leave the MCV for a moment there, and he wants to make sure that he takes down all of the production facilities as well. Only a dojo is left. The army is still active, and they could potentially... Actually, they can't do anything. Both of the bridges are gone. That Ore Collector thinks that he's got the bonus crate, but he actually hasn't. For whatever reason, it didn't actually activate. GG, as Drinksoap has been defeated, and now it is a 1v2. Without super weapons, this is a surprising match that these guys just have not built any super weapons. Kirov will get cleaned up. Tengu's going to escape. Tengu's? No. They just eat it. They just say, I can lift this Kirov. And turns out 2 of them could. Nakula subs get another Naval Yard kill. Twin Blades coming in here. Tier 2 Mecha Bay getting targeted down. Refineries as well. Akulas and Dreadnoughts out on the water for this Soviet player. He is not going to just wait around for his Twin Blades to cross the map. He is going for the kills himself, and also using IFVs to attack Dreadnoughts is a pretty funny idea. That's a curious choice, as a couple of tank busters step out as well. Eureka gets the kill. Massive damage to the Twin Blades. Eureka suicides and kills the Twin Blades. Huge amount of damage, and that is as good as you can get without a super weapon for instant burst damage to the Twin Blades. But look how many Twin Blades have gone heroic. It is almost Starry Night over here with these Twin Blades flying around. 3 or 4 of them double vet as well, right on the verge of going heroic. And you have to hand it to WarServer. The suicidal Eureka, when you just don't have the firepower to take care of that many Twin Blades, MiGs, and Bullfrogs, is a pretty baller move. Not one that I was expecting to see either. Another super reactor goes down, deletes the vacuum imploder that just got started, deletes the tier 3 also, and the engineer, he was completely rallied over there, but he is not going to be able to make it happen. And the Tengu's now getting shielded by this Nano Swarm Hive. And this is, again, it's like, the Twin Blades can be over top of the Tengu's, but they can't actually attack them. So the Tengu's are kind of safe, but they're about to be dead. But visually, it looks weird. And there, as the Nano Swarm Hive disappears, the point defense drones come up, and WarServer escapes with 6 of his Tengu's. He gets the kill on the refinery. He doesn't get the kill on that Tesla coil. And the Athena Cannon shield pop at just the right moment, almost no health left, to stop those Dreadnought missiles from impacting. Tank Busters and the Nano Swarm, so he can potentially get the Iron Curtain. Oh, he's selling off buildings, hoping that the conscripts will spawn on the inside, but honestly, I don't know if the conscripts will. All right, so he's going for the suicide move. This is great by WarServer. The Tank Buster surprise, the Nano Swarm on top of it, and then almost killing the Super Reactor, but leaving a smidge of health so that these Tank Busters, if they have to at the last moment, can call in the Super Reactor explosion, and the Iron Curtain saves them both. The bridge comes back online, and these Twin Blades get attacked by the IFVs. Tengus on the ground are not enough. It's going to be the IFVs that get the kill on the Twin Blade army and the Bullfrogs. No, not yet. Not just yet. The Super Reactor will be the target. The Engineer is standing by, just watching, waiting. The only hope is to sell off the Super Reactor, and that leaves all of the bombs for the Iron Curtain, which will be sold off. The Iron Curtain's only use was to preserve itself, and it didn't even do that particularly well. IFV is now going to have to kill their own. You'll need another Engineer to open that bridge up once again, and it just feels like ForFan28 is just being slowly and surely picked apart. Look at the reactor. Not much more than that. And, well, Emperor's Rage. Tank Buster's getting called in. I don't know what just got activated. Magnetic Singularity. And it just fizzles out. The Magnetic Singularity doesn't do anything. They might actually need to kill that conscript. One of the Tank Busters goes heroic, but the conscript now goes single vet, and the War Factory goes down. The airfield goes down, and the Magnetic Singularity does not kill off those Tank Busters. Twin Blades do, though. Oh, it's Mass Terror Drone, Vacuum Imploder, and an Iron Curtain. Too much electricity for this Soviet player to keep everything online. That MCV would be a valuable target for a Terror Drone to be able to infect. And these IFVs are running for the hills, hoping to get back to that War Factory. But if they don't, they're going to cause an infection on an Ore Collector, maybe even an Athena as well. That's a heroic IFV that goes down. Double vet Terror Drone gets the infect on an Athena, and these Terror Drones have done massive, massive damage. The MCV gets caught. It's going for the crush of those hammer tanks, and that Athena will give its weapon to a hammer as ForFan transitions away from Twin Blades and to ground-based forces, which have actually broken through the front line, causing Kahlua some problems. The MCV is on the run, barely alive after all of the firepower that's been unleashed on it, and WarServer leaves the game, the latest member to head out of this match, and IFVs are not going to be enough. That will do it. ForFan28 finally takes the game. Kahlua and WarServer both fall away at the last minute. Thank you all very much for watching this very long Carville game. I hope you enjoyed it, and this is Sybert signing out.